Today we're going to be working on character archetypes. The other day we talked about the characteristics of a fantasy genre, and one of the characteristics is that there are archetypes, character archetypes. So what are archetypes? One thing to keep in mind is that archetypes are universal characters that have mass recognition across any culture. So we're going to first look at this slideshow here. So researchers have been able to collect and compare different myths, legends, and religions of cultures from all around the world. They discovered that for centuries, people who had no contact with each other had passed down stories through generations that were similar to the stories of other cultures. The basic elements of these stories are called archetypes. So what is it? It's a character, an action, or situation that is a prototype or pattern of human life, generally, and has mass recognition across any culture. It's a situation that occurs over and over again in literature. It could be a quest, initiation, an attempt to overcome evil. So the first thing what we're going to focus on are character archetypes. All right, and there are many different ones. And the ones we're going to discuss here are just some of them, but there are many more. So first is the hero, right? It's a larger-than-life character that often goes on some kind of journey or quest. In the course of his journey, the hero demonstrates the qualities and abilities valued by his culture. An example of a hero would be King Arthur, Luke Skywalker from Star Wars, Frodo from The Lord of the Rings, or even Harry Potter. Another archetype is the father figure. This is the protector and the leader. An example would be Mufasa from The Lion King. You might see a mother figure. That's the protective nurturer or gentle provider, such as Mrs. Weasley in Harry Potter or the fairy godmother even in Cinderella. You might see a temptress, a woman who uses her power, such as intellect or magic or beauty, to make men weak, such as the White Witch from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Remember, one story is not going to have every single archetype. You will find some of them. Make sure we get them. The next word is a monster or a villain. All right, this is the person who is the antagonist in the story who opposes the protagonist. Some stories will have multiple villains. An example is the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk. And then you might have the innocent, someone who is innocent, an inexperienced character that is exposed to the evils in the world, such as Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. But there are other innocent characters in that story as well, because we are reading that, and we can talk about that as well. The damsel in distress is that woman who needs to be rescued, such as Rapunzel or Sleeping Beauty. And a lot of times we see these helpers, right? These are people who assist or guide our main character or protagonist. That might be a wise old man or woman, an animal that teaches and helps them, or a teacher, or even a mentor. Examples might be Merlin from King Arthur or Yoda in Star Wars. Most of the time we see a trickster or someone like a fool. These are characters who trick others to get them to do what he or she wants. They can be both virtuous or evil. So as examples would be Fred and George Weasley from Harry Potter. They're not essentially evil, but they are tricksters. And then Roadrunner from our classic cartoon. He is often not the trickster, but a fool, because he falls for the tricks of the coyote. And then we have an underdog. These are characters who are always in the wrong place at the wrong time, but who usually win something of value in the end, such as the Ugly Duckling or even Neville Longbottom from Harry Potter. There are tons of different archetypes, characters, all right? And we've talked about a few of them before. When we talk about settings, an archetype can be, when we talk about settings in specific, we're not going to go into depth about these, but there are things like the crossroads, an underworld, a maze or a labyrinth, or even a castle. our settings. And journeys that characters go on can also be archetypal. All right. There are certain patterns. There's a quest to know who you are, a quest to find knowledge, a quest to find the promised land or build a beautiful city, a warrior's quest to save people, like the rid the land of danger, a quest to get revenge, a quest for fame and fortune, the fool's quest. A silly person saves the land because of innocence or foolishness, and a search for love. So as we think about the Wizard of Oz, I want you to stop right now and think to yourself, what character archetypes have we seen in the Wizard of Oz so far? I do want to let you know that today you will be reading chapter 3 of the Wizard of Oz. You have the full text there that you can scroll to the correct page for chapter 3. There are questions that you need to answer that are listed in the lesson. And as well, you have an audio version where you can click to the timestamp for chapter 3 and listen to it.